The morning sun streamed through the tall windows of the recording studio, catching the silver streaks in Gwen Stefani's hair. She was tuning her guitar, lost in thought, when her assistant's phone buzzed insistently. Gwen glanced at it reluctantly. On the screen, a trending news alert flashed. Kelly Clarkson opens up about her relationship with Blake Shelton. Gwen's fingers froze on the strings. She had anticipated the rumors, but seeing the headline made her stomach twist. She had known Kelly as a friend, a colleague, and a fellow celebrity who had once shared the spotlight with Blake. Gwen's heart pounded as she read the quotes aloud softly, almost to herself. Blake has been a significant part of my life, and I'm grateful for the journey we've shared. Her mind raced. She remembered the early days of her relationship with Blake, the whispered conversations, the late-night laughs, the moments she thought were theirs alone. Now here was Kelly, speaking candidly in front of millions. Gwen couldn't help but feel a twinge of betrayal mixed with curiosity. She wanted to be supportive, yet her instinct told her to brace for the wave of public scrutiny that would follow. Taking a deep breath, Gwen set her guitar aside and called her manager. "I need to know exactly what she said." "And I mean everything. No filters," she said, her voice steady but tense. She felt a flicker of anxiety. This wasn't just celebrity news, it was personal. By mid-morning, clips from Kelly's interview had gone viral. Gwen watched silently as Kelly's face appeared on screen, glowing and candid. Every word Kelly spoke felt like it brushed against Gwen's own memories. A complex swirl of emotions filled her. Nostalgia, protectiveness, and the undeniable pang of something she couldn't quite name. By evening, Gwen retreated to her home, seeking solace in the quiet of her living room. The city lights twinkled outside, but inside, Gwen felt anything but bright. She poured herself a glass of wine and sank into the couch, replaying Kelly's words in her mind. The way Kelly had smiled while mentioning Blake, the sincerity in her voice, it was both comforting and disorienting. Her phone buzzed again. It was a message from a close friend. "Saw the Clarkson interview." "You okay?" Gwen typed back slowly. "Processing. It's more complicated than I expected." She stared at the ceiling, letting the silence stretch. Memories of her own relationship flashed vividly. The shared jokes with Blake, the moments of vulnerability, the laughter in the kitchen, the quiet mornings with coffee in hand. It all seemed to collide, with the public narrative unfolding, on screens everywhere. Gwen realized she wasn't just reacting to Kelly's words. She was reacting to the fact that the private world she had with Blake was now a topic of public commentary. The doorbell rang, startling her. It was her friend carrying a tray of comfort food. They sat together in silence for a few moments before Gwen finally spoke. "It's not about jealousy, I think. It's about respect for what we had," she said quietly. Her friend nodded, understanding without judgment. Gwen sipped her wine and reflected. Maybe it wasn't her place to feel hurt. Maybe this was simply another chapter in the complex web of relationships they all navigated. And yet the feeling lingered, a bittersweet reminder that fame never allowed for total privacy, especially when hearts were involved. The next day, Gwen was scheduled for a radio interview. Reporters buzzed around, eager for a reaction. Cameras flashed, microphones hovered. Gwen took a deep breath, steadying herself. This was the public stage, and she needed to navigate it gracefully. "I've seen the interview," she began, her voice calm, measured. Kelly spoke honestly about her experiences, and I respect her for that. Relationships are complicated, and every perspective is valid. She smiled faintly, letting a hint of warmth show. "Blake and I share a history, and I value that deeply. That's all I'll say on the matter." Backstage, Gwen exhaled. The tight knot of anxiety in her chest had loosened slightly. She realized she didn't need to control the narrative, just her own response. She could honor her past without diminishing anyone else's truth. Later that afternoon, she returned to the studio. Picking up her guitar again, Gwen felt a sense of release. Music had always been her refuge, a place where emotions could breathe freely. She strummed softly, letting the chords carry away the tension. As the sun dipped below the horizon, Gwen reflected on the whirlwind of emotions. Surprise, nostalgia, unease, but also acceptance. She understood that the world would always have opinions, headlines, and gossip. But at the heart of it, She had the power to remain grounded in her own experiences and truth. By the evening, Gwen posted a subtle, uplifting message on her social media. Cherish your history, honor your feelings, and keep moving forward. It wasn't just a statement for fans. It was a promise to herself. She was ready to face the world with grace, embracing her past while remaining open to the future. The day ended quietly, with Gwen feeling a strange mix of closure and hope. She knew emotions would resurface. Headlines would continue, but for now, she had found her balance. In the end, reactions mattered, but perspective mattered more.